Good afternoon, Big Brother fans. It is Tuesday, July 1st, and we are just over a week from Big Brother 27, but we have news, as it were. It was put out today that the house guests are moving into the house 1 week from today. So they will be in the house on Tuesday of next week. So they'll be in the house for 2 days before the feeds go live. We're assuming the feeds go live Thursday night. I am assuming and hoping that the feeds go live Thursday night after the premiere. Seems more likely if they're going into the house on Tuesday. So what does that mean? Well, we know the house guests were sequestered this weekend. So they've been in their hotel rooms. I have listened to at least one former house guest, and maybe I've seen a couple other posts. So let me give you a little bit of comments that at least one house guest made talking about their time in the Big Brother house or the sequester. I've heard other things. I've heard people talk about, being stuck, cooped up. You've got limited selections of DVDs. I did hear that, and I may have heard this before, but I can't remember, that one of the requirements, at least in the past, has been that before you get to watch anything else, you have to watch an entire season of Big Brother. And I don't know if they say specifically which one it has to be. We've kind of joked about it, like we felt like they were all being force fed, like Big Brother 16 for a long time. I don't know that to be a fact, but I just know now that at least in the past, like I said, they were forced to watch an entire season of some season of Big Brother, so they're at least slightly familiar with the game before they could watch any of the other um, shows and such. So that's kind of interesting, or movies or whatever. And other things, I guess they have a little handheld DVD player. It's not even a DVD player in the hotel room. Um, it's a DVD player that a little portable one, I guess. So that's interesting. Now, again, these things may have changed, but as of this house guest time, that's how they were. So kind of interesting. But they're cooped up. They're ordering off the the menu, the what was it? They've got a list for room service, and that's what they're getting their stuff from. They aren't getting to go out to eat. Um, if they happen to be a smoker, apparently they could get smoke breaks. But of course, when was the last time we had a smoker on the show? Right? It's happened, but not very often. Um, but as I said, Quinn mentioned on his Twitch a while ago that you should almost bring a carton of cigarettes to barter and to bargain and to make friends with, because you can. So just keep that in mind. We're obviously past this point this year, but maybe for future years. So house guests are stuck in a hotel. They are not getting to see much of the outside world. And but today, and I don't remember who sent this out. Somebody said today is the media day and meeting and somebody official, somebody that knows. I think it may have been Dingo. May have said today is the day when the house guests uh, get to meet the media and do the interviews and do the headshot. Do that's going to appear on the memory wall. So knowing that, it means that we might be we're getting close to things happening. We didn't see anything, at least not yet today, happen, and probably won't be since it's now evening. But we saw that. Oh, another thing, the live feed page on Paramount's site is now on. Now, the downside is that it doesn't look like there's going to be flashback again, at least based on what we can see so far. But it is interesting to see that things are starting to come into place, right? The puzzle pieces are starting to drop in. We've got the live feeds on Paramount. We've got the house guests in sequester. We've got the house guests probably meeting with media today, and there's a little bit more that indicates that is the case. Uh, Today, late this afternoon, within the past hour or two, Sharon Tharp, who is one of our favorite Big Brother reporters, as it were, and she is also a huge Big Brother fan. She posted online just a animated GIF of Angela from last season eating Lay's potato chips. That's it. Kind of just like the popcorn thing, right? Like, oh, I got some stuff, and doesn't say she didn't say anything. That's all she did. So I have no additional information. She just threw that up there, but I am taking the piece of the puzzle where Dingo said they should be meeting the media today, and this piece of the puzzle of Sharon saying, putting up an animated GIF like, oh, dude, I've got something going on here. And I'm going to put those two pieces together and say, yep, Sharon met the house guest today, and she now knows who the house guests are. Now, I would think she met all 20. And I never thought about this before. Maybe I haven't, I've forgotten about it. That means that Sharon interviewed people that aren't going to be on the show. But Sharon is a professional reporter, and so we're never going to hear about the people that she interviewed that didn't make the show, at least not anytime soon. We may hear about them like down the road, um, years from now, and but we won't hear about them anytime soon unless they happen to show up, and then we'll have that. They get somebody gets pulled at the last minute, but we won't hear if they get pulled. Sharon will be a very good journalist, and not disclose anything, but it's she knows now. It would seem she knows, which also means that Mike Bloom knows. Also means that Dalton Ross knows, and some other people that I can't tell you right now. I don't know for sure, but those are the three people that we know well that now have met the house guests. So what does this mean? Some people say that we're going to get the house. We may get some house pictures tomorrow. So maybe we'll get house pictures tomorrow. But anyways, it's interesting. We're starting to feel it. The people are coming out on social media. The people are showing up. Again, those of you that are listening to this that are finding this link through Twitter, um, and you haven't heard anything until now, if this is your first Big Brother related podcast, or for me at least, and for one or two of you it will be, this is the first time you've heard my voice since last fall. Things have kind of changed online on the social media landscape. And a, a chunk of people said, yeah, we're kind of done with Twitter, and we're going to go to this other place called Blue Sky, which you may have heard rumblings about it. Well, when we did, I mean, I set up a Blue Sky account in April of 2023, so I've been on it in some capacity, but it really didn't kind of catch on, and it kind of rumbled. And back when Elon made his jump, when Elon purchased Twitter, some people said that's kind of it. I don't think I want to do this anymore, but they still didn't catch on. So last season, not a whole lot was going on, but then. Since all the other Elon stuff that has gone on, right? More stuff, a lot of Elon stuff has happened since October of last year, when you may have lost been listening to this stuff, and so a lot of people jump ship to other places, not necessarily just Blue Sky. But I personally have mostly jumped ship to Blue Sky. Other accounts have. I don't want to speak for other accounts, so just believe me that some of the big accounts that have either moved or will be spending a good amount of their time on Blue Sky. Now, some accounts aren't on Blue Sky at all. Some of the big accounts that do live feed stuff and live Big Brother stuff. And some accounts are going to try to straddle that line between the two. So it's going to be a very interesting Big Brother season. We'll see how it goes. My sense as of right now, based on just the last couple of days, is that Twitter is still going to be very active with a lot of people talking about Big Brother. Blue Sky is going to be active. It's going to be a smaller community. It's going to be a different kind of experience, I think, but it's where I'm going to be. So then you've got I haven't written a post about this. I thought about posting about this with all the things. So let's talk about this. This is where we're going to go from now on, by the way, for the rest of this podcast, by the way. I don't have anything else to add about Big Brother per se. This is going to be more talking about the communities of Big Brother. And I've thought about making a post about this, and I hadn't done it. But let's talk about this. and I still may write up a post in the next few days. Who knows? We have our Big Brother Twitter. We have Big Brother Blue Sky now. We have Threads. We have Instagram. They're kind of related because they're both tied to Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, right? You got right Instagram, um, Threads, and Facebook, but Instagram and Threads are kind of one thing. Actually, Instagram is kind of a thing. But the problem to me with Instagram was always that you had to put a picture in to do a post, so I could never get into it. Threads, you don't have to, but it's still part of Instagram and Facebook, and I just never liked it, and I still don't. I go there and check it. I don't like it that much, but there's a community there. There's also a community on Mastodon, kind of, but it's kind of not. I don't know how it's doing. I'm not sure, and I can't even get my Mastodon instant to work right now. I can't get the page to load for some reason. That's a whole nother issue. So I tried to go to Mastodon a couple days ago to put a post and say hey, and I couldn't get it to work. And I can read my settings, but I can't see my page. So whatever. So Mastodon's a thing. And then you have Facebook, and Facebook is another thing. Now, what are all these different and then there's also the CBS chat room, right? There's those places. Oh my gosh, those are scary places. Never go there, okay? And no one that ever goes there as a regular listens to me. I guarantee you, because they are stuck in a weird world that they should not be in anymore. And then you have other things too. You have Reddit. I don't go on Reddit really, except for very rarely. It's a whole other world. And then message boards. You have some message boards even. You have jokers. Um, you have TV Clubhouse. Those are very niche, very small little groupings. And other message boards, I'm sure. There are lots of message boards that have Big Brother areas. So there's a lot of different worlds out there that are Big Brother related, right? I have been on Twitter Big Brother since 2009, and that's kind of my home. Except for now, I've shifted to Blue Sky, and that's going to be my home now. There's no doubt. That is my home. That is my community. That's where I'm hanging out. I know some of you are never going to make the move, and some of you have expressed that, and I'm sorry, but I have made that my home. I have set up shop. I only follow 116 accounts on Twitter, and I have 112,000 followers, right, on Twitter. But most of those are, just, let's be honest, most of those are either fake accounts at this point or they're old stale accounts and the people aren't around anymore. Whatever they are, I just don't find much interaction with those 112,000 accounts no matter what I do. So I look at it as they're not legit. Um, and I'm following almost 1,000 accounts on Blue Sky already, and I have I think am I over 6,000? If I'm not over 6,000, I'm over 5,000. I'm one of the two. I may be like 6,400, I think, maybe followers. I may have just crossed 6,500. Yeah, I'm over 6,000. Which is not is a lot for some people. I understand that, but compared to Twitter, it doesn't sound like many. However, those 6,500 accounts, they react to everything I say. They like things. They comment on things. I get interaction. So for me, it's a much more vibrant community. And so, yeah, that's where I'm at now. Again, I can't make Threads work. I can't make Instagram work for me. I know there are people that love it and use it. Just not my thing. Um, my take on Facebook is it's another scary place. Very opinionated people. They're all opinionated people, but it tends to be. Some would say it's for old. Where the old folks hang out, and they're only TV viewers, and they're really this and that and the other. But they get the votes for like America's Player and stuff. So that's why people say Cameron won American Player a couple of years ago because of the Facebook vote, and so hey, whatever. If you like Facebook, great. You're probably not listening to me if you're a regular on Facebook either, because I don't spend much time on Facebook. We have a Facebook page for the Big Brother Gossip Show, but it pretty much has several thousand followers, but nobody posts there. I went in and edited it recently to make sure people knew that where they could find me, but I'm not there, right? And then as messenger. So that's what's out there in the community. I know, and the CBS chat rooms again. Don't ever go there. Just don't go there. It's a scary place. Um, I just think that the Blue Sky world is gonna always be kind of small and niche, but there are some, I would say, some big time players there, right? There are some accounts that people know that are there and have moved there. And there are going to be some people on Twitter that are going to be like, why are they there? Why did they leave? I'm not going there. And there's going to be some people that are never going to move. There's going to be people that are going to straddle the fence. We had, at my count, we had about 25 former house guests that set up accounts on Blue Sky. But honestly, at this point, there's about five or six that are still even somewhat active on Blue Sky. Now they may show up more once the season starts, but they may not. Um, it's just it is what it is, and it's okay. I don't. I love the Big Brother house guests. I am looking forward to meeting some of them and seeing some of them again, and meeting some new faces next week when I'm in New York. That's going to be cool. But they're in Big Brother. Their Big Brother world is completely different than my Big Brother world. First of all, they lived it, and most of them by and large don't watch the feeds religiously like we do. There are a few that do, but most don't. And most are also on social media. The ones that are active on social media are doing it because they're trying to get engagement, and they are trying to promote whatever it is they are doing, whether it is another reality show or their own podcast or their thing. They're actually trying to make a little bit of money in the Big Brother world. Some of them, not all of them. So I wish them well. I will share their content. If they interact with me, I will by all means share their content and stuff. But I'm not going to um, be upset if they decide not to show up on Blue Sky, because in their mind, Twitter is where it's at, right? Or maybe Instagram. Um, I just think that the interactions on Twitter are not as real as people think. There's a lot of fake engagement there, and it looks good on paper, but in reality, there's nobody behind some of those likes, right? Okay. Am I going down a rabbit hole? Am I boring you all? Well, that's okay. You always can just shut it off and go on to whatever else you're doing. But um, I think was that about it? Yeah, I think that may be about it. By the way, I am using um, a Spreaker account. I'm using my Spreaker app for this. I talked about the different apps, the old one and the new one. It appears that the Spreaker app allows me to use my Bluetooth headphones. So I'm recording this using my AirPods, my in-ear things, because the it does pick up this microphone, whereas the older Spreaker Studio app will not work with my Bluetooth headset. So, but I think the sound quality is not necessarily as good as the last option I was using, which is what I'll probably use most of the time, which is a wireless microphone, the Rode microphone. I have a Rode microphone that I can hook up, and I will probably, once I pull it out of its box and get it charged, that's what I'll probably use, because the sound quality to me seems better than this. This seems to be picking up a lot of the road noise and stuff because I'm driving, right? Um, but again, I already talked about Spreaker on my last podcast, so I won't go down that rabbit hole again. We may talk about it again more in the near future, um, because some of these times I just go off the rail. But for those of you, again, that have never listened to me before, welcome to my podcast. Once Big Brother kicks off, I will be doing this um, almost every day, usually in the morning when I'm driving to work, and I will let you know what's going on as far as the house, what I know. Um, and then other times I'll pop in and do short ones when I know other things. It tends to be anywhere from 5 minutes to 30 minutes. It just depends on what I have to talk about and if there's anything going on. It tends to get shorter as the season goes because there's less to talk about. And yeah, so that's it. I do um, have my supports the way people support me. I used to be an affiliate. I still am technically an affiliate. But uh, if you say, "Hey, Mike, how can I support you? I like what you're doing," then first of all, you're supporting me by listening to this. Share it with your friends if you care to admit that you're a Big Brother fan. Listen to the commercials at the end. That gives a little tiny bit of money to me, income. If you want to go above and beyond, there are links that you can get to through my bio on either Twitter or on Blue Sky. I have a list. I have a links page. I think it's listed on both of them, and you can go there. And there's a link for like the Ko-fi. That's one of the donation options to do just a regular one-time donation if you want to do that. Or if you want to become a patron, you can become a patron. And the patron for me is simply a monthly charge. It has to be a minimum of $5 because that's what patron sets it at. But you can go in and I think you can change it. No, once you have to sign up for $5, which I think would mean an initial $5 charge now because they charge you right away. But I think you can go in and change the amount uh, and lower it. I don't care if you do that, right? You can go in and change it to $1 a month if you want. I think that's the lowest you can. I think you can do that. I haven't checked in a while, but I'm pretty sure because I'm a $1 patron for somebody, so I think you can do that. And if that's all you feel comfortable doing, hey, that's all you need to do. If you just want to be a one-time donor, donate the one time and then unsubscribe. I'm good with whatever. I appreciate my patrons. It's a nice thing. It's actually uh, I'm using some of my patron money this year is actually what are we doing here? Okay, sorry, traffic. I'm in a congested area and a semi pull out in front of me. So yeah, no. Um, sorry, my my got messed up. Anyways, um, some of my patron funds is helping cover my cost of my New York trip. So that's how that's getting worked out, which is very nice, and that's a cool thing that it's covering some of those costs, so that I can go out to New York and see this. And as those of you that have listened know, I will tell you all about that and share all the my thoughts about it and everything, so you can live vicariously through me, I suppose. With that, and the fact that I'm almost home and traffic near home is a bit wonky, I'm going to sign off. We're at 22 minutes. Who knows? Maybe tomorrow I'll be talking about the house, either on the way home or it won't be in the morning. It'll probably be. I think someone speculates that it's going to happen at noon at 1 p.m. Eastern time. That's what someone posted. I have no idea if they have legit information, but that's the time I heard, which is a possible time. It would make sense that it could be around then. Sometimes it's at noon Eastern time, but maybe it's 1 o'clock Eastern time this go round. I can never remember. I never write this stuff down to look, and I'm too lazy to go back and look. So might have house pictures, at least some of them, and that will get everybody excited for about an hour. And then they'll be wanting more, right? But that may be the last thing we get until the house guests are revealed, which may not be until Tuesday. That would be when the house guests actually enter the house, and so that will be when the cast is locked. So up until then, we that would be my expectation is that a week from today we'll know the cast, and will and it will be published because that will be after they're in the house and they're kind of locked in because they're recording stuff, right? And any changes that happen will have to be acknowledged on air. So all right, there you go, folks. Thank you for listening. Thank you again to my patrons. um we'll do a shout out. I'll do a shout out either tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow morning. I'm going to get my list of patrons and give them all their individual shout outs because they are appreciated. Extra special because they're my favorites, right? Yes. All right. Talk to you guys later. Be well. Bye bye.